Take a whiff, guys. You know what that smell is? That's the smell of the new year. And you know what that means? That means new games. However, it would be wrong to just jump into the new year without reminiscing about the year that we've just had. So without further ado, here's my top 10 Nintendo games for 2013. Roll the tape.
In my honest opinion, I've never really enjoyed Pikmin. I just found the series too stressful and overwhelming to actually enjoy. At least that's what I thought until Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 is an incredibly polished game that is far less stressful when compared to its predecessors. I love collecting all the fruit and just exploring at my own pace. The level design is also very smart, as once you unlock a new type of Pikmin, the world opens up to you even further, and you can return to past areas that seem limited to you at first. The bosses are also very enjoyable, and they all had an epic feel. I wouldn't mind maybe having a longer story, but other than that, I had a lot of fun with this game. If I could sum up my experience with Runner 2 in just 2 words, I would say infuriating fun. What I mean by that is the game is not afraid to put your ass on a plate. This game does not hold back when it comes to difficulty. If you make a single jump, slide, kick, or block a second too late, it's back to the checkpoint or beginning with you. And that's why I love it. When I tried to play through the first game, I actually couldn't because it felt incredibly unfair. But luckily, with Runner 2, the game added checkpoints, which although it doesn't make the game easy, it certainly dialed down my rage from burning my console all the way down to just throwing my controller out the window. You know, just a casual. I'm just gonna say it. I adore the Ace Attorney series, and that is exactly why I love this next game. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies is not a game for everyone. The game heavily revolves around the plot and adds limited gameplay mechanics to it. And luckily, it is a very strong plot. Without spoiling anything, the game's story is thoroughly engaging and is full of twists that I could hardly see coming. The characters you meet all have loads of personality as well, and they all made me legitimately care about the client I was defending. Dual Destinies also looks great as it boasts fully 3D models that move very smoothly. Oh, and yelling objection into the mic has never felt better. So if you're looking for a game with a great story, this is the one for you. Okay, so this next choice may be a bit controversial, but I'm just going to say it anyway. My number 7 spot goes to Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. But wait, just before you kill me, hear me out. I found the game didn't really have much of a personality, as in it just seemed like a bunch of dungeons slapped together on a mediocre overworld and with a forgotten story. Okay, now you're definitely going to kill me. But I just felt the game relied too much on nostalgia of older gamers who played A Link to the Past. Having not been alive when it came out, I didn't have that nostalgia that many people did. But other than those gripes, I found the game pretty fun, as it does have some very good dungeons, and the ability to choose what dungeon and item you want to take is a refreshing idea. The game gives you a real sense of growth as well, as not only do you collect heart pieces, you can also level up your sword, upgrade your items, and get stronger tunings. So although this isn't my favourite Zelda game, it is still a very good game, and deserves number 7. I could have easily put Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate at number 1 because of the hours I've spent playing the game, but I just don't think it deserves it. See, 3 Ultimate is actually a remake of a remake, and in all honesty, a lousy one. I didn't really play Tri much, but I realised Ultimate is almost the exact same as Tri. There are only a few new monsters, and it just seems like a bit of a cash-in, but even so, I can't deny that I've had so much fun playing this game. My favourite part about it is the online and how much fun it is meeting and playing with random people. It's just so fulfilling once you hear that victory music, and then you all celebrate by hitting each other into the air. The monsters look very intimidating, and that run you do to get away from them will always stay entertaining. I absolutely adore this game, but I just can't make myself put it any higher than it is, as it is a lazy port. But I guess it will help us with the wait for Monster Hunter 4. Because of a lack of a GameCube in my house back when I was younger, I never actually got to play the masterpiece that was the Wind Waker. The art style had always intrigued me, but alas, I never actually got to play it. But then one day, one glorious day, this lovely gentleman right here told us all that they were working on the Wind Waker HD, and I nearly cried. You have no idea how close I was to buying a GameCube just for the Wind Waker, so it was perfect timing. So once the HD remake actually came out, I didn't stop playing. It stands to be one of my favourite Zelda games ever made. Just the feeling of adventure you get from the Great Sea is astounding, and although I didn't think the graphics could get much better than the original, I was surprised as it is the prettiest game I have ever played hands down. In actual fact, I enjoyed sailing around the open seas more than the actual dungeons themselves, which is quite the feat. This game is literally a masterpiece, but I believe a HD remake shouldn't be number 1, so at number 5 it stays. Wait, stop. Before I get into these next 4 games, I want to let you know that all of them could have easily been number 1 on my list, but for the sake of this being a top 10, I put them in order. These games came so close to each other that it literally took me over an hour to decide the order of my final 4. So with that in mind, let's try this again. When it was announced, Super Mario 3D World was a huge disappointment. The first trailer we got was what looked like a level pack for 3D Land and nothing more. And even though the second trailer was a little more exciting, I was still a bit worried that the game would be too similar to 3D Land. So once I actually picked the game up, I was pleasantly surprised. Although the game may look like a HD 3D Land, it feels and plays differently, thanks to the bigger stages, multiplayer and just overall variety. The level design is as good as ever, and all the stages feel very different. 1 minute you'll be running around a savannah as a cat, and then you'll be running a Mario Kart-like course all the way to the goal pole. The multiplayer is made fun by the fact that after every course, the person with the most points gets to wear a crown into the next course. This may not sound like a huge deal, but believe me, it is, as you will be wanting it. The crown doesn't really do anything in particular, but what it will do is make the other players despise you and try sabotage you in the hope of someone else getting the crown. This little touch adds so much to the multiplayer, and ends in all the players having lots of fun. The music is also very nice, as all of the stages have a jazzy and circusy feel. All of these elements add up to be a very entertaining game, and well deserving of number 4. Pokemon is a series that, although I played, I never really understood. I never understood EV training, having a balanced team, and even the difference between attack and special attack. So yeah, I was pretty bad. I remember I used to assign my Luxray Thunder, Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, and another Thunder move, thinking I was some sort of Pokemon genius. But because of Pokemon X's accessibility, I learnt so much. Pokemon X is the first time Game Freak is jumping into 3D for its handheld series, and boy is it pretty. The graphics are the best in this series so far, and although the 3D is lackluster, I didn't mind because it was so beautiful. The gameplay is similar to other Pokemon games in the fact that you'll collect badges and then battle the Elite Four. But it does add some new things such as Super Training. Super Training is a way of making EV training less tedious and more accessible to people other than the die-hard fans, which is a great thing. You can also battle anyone online, which definitely boosted my playtime. Even though I lost all my matches, yeah, I'm still not that great. We tried, Togekiss. We tried. I've said the word polish quite a bit in this video, but none of them match up to the polish of Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem is a tactical strategy game where you control your entire army where to go and hope they don't die, because if they do, they're gone forever. At least until you restart the game without saving. That always works, and I did that a lot. A new feature that has been added is the support function, where if you put two members of the opposite gender close together, then they'll start to like each other. The more they like each other, the more of a chance they'll help each other on the battlefield. They could do things like block attacks, give boosts, and even attack with them. If you do this enough, then they'll eventually get married, and because of some plot detail, you can get their children to fight on the battlefield with you. This is the best aspect of the game, and I had a lot of fun building relationships. The game also looks fantastic on the 3DS, and the cutscenes are really well made. I was also a fan of the world map and how freely you can move around it. This installment has reinvigorated my love for the series, and I can't wait for the next one. I've put so many hours into this game, but there is another game that I have put more time into, and that game is... You know that game that ends up becoming an addiction? Well, that's what Animal Crossing New Leaf did for me. It didn't just become an addiction though, it became a part of my lifestyle as I ended up playing pretty much every day and clocked in over 200 hours. I have played the DS and Wii version, but neither of them really captured me. But what New Leaf does is stray away from past iterations and become something fresh. In New Leaf, you're the mayor and you can pretty much control how your town runs. For instance, you can build public works projects, which are structures that can be placed around your town. They can range from places like the cafe, police station and campsite, to windmills, lighthouses and streetlights. Because of this, the town is your own, and not nothing more than a randomly generated town that Nintendo gives you. This is why I love it to bits, and I'm still having so much fun making my town have its own identity. There are a wide range of residents that can inhabit your town as well, and you can interact with them more than ever now. I just love the overall feel of the game and the amount of time you can spend in it. I feel like I have so much more to unlock, and I can see myself playing this game well into 2014. Oh, and by the way, if you want to visit my town, then you can enter my dream address, it's in the description. I just started a new game recently, so my town may be a bit underdeveloped, but it'll get there.
Well, we've reached the end of another video, so remember to like, favourite, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I should be back soon with another video. So I want to thank you guys for actually watching as well, supporting me, second video. Hope to keep this going, hopefully, and I should be back soon. So yeah, I'll catch you all later. Bye.